Doctor Who The Lost Stories, The Nightmare Fair.
Doctor?
What?
Doctor?
You didn't hear that?
Hear what?
Someone calling my name.
So welcome YouTubers and Doctor Who fans to our Big Finish audio review, and today we'll be taking a look at the story from the Lost Stories range, which actually first started the range known as The Nightmare Fair, which was unfortunately lost because season 23 of Colin Baker's era was put on hiatus, so these stories did not exist. Always gotta say, always the good stories which are lost or get cancelled, always the ones which are good. I've always found that out. But anyway, if you want to skip to the review on The Nightmare Fair, skip down here. So now we'll take a look at the front cover. Now all the Lost Stories are quite basic, where there's a different tone of colour on each release, so it's pretty basic. This one, we have Colin Baker right by here, we have Nicola Bryant, and definitely they have a fantastic relationship throughout the whole era of season 23. It works very good. And we have the Celestial Toymaker, who's played by David Bally, a fantastic person to play the Celestial Toymaker. And we have Blackpool and Blackpool Tower in the background as well. And also, as you see by the side, it says found at last. So Big Finish wanted to bring back Lost Stories back to life, at least as much as possible, so they remade them on audio. So we have the side, we have purple, The Nightmare Fair with Colin Baker by there, and this is, yep, the first ever release of season 1. So now we have the back, and The Nightmare Fair written by Garen Williams and John Answorth. Lost Story Adventures were originally written by Doctor Who television series, but never made, now are available to hear for the first time. The TARDIS has been drawn to Blackpool in the year 1985, where the Doctor intends to investigate a dangerous space-time vortex, while enjoying some local attractions along the way, but an old enemy is watching from his base deep within amusement park. A timeless being who craves revenge. The Celestial Toymaker has returned. The game is on, and should he lose, the Doctor will pay the ultimate forfeit. So fantastic blurb right by there. So the cast is the Doctor, Peri, the Celestial Toymaker, Kevin, Stefan, Willem, Sharvlow, and I'm not going to say those names down there because they are, some of those names are quite difficult to probably say, but I'm not going to say them. And the running time is 1 hour and 20 minutes, so 2 hours of absolute epicness. So now we have the innards of Nightmare Fair. We have disc 1, which is in part 1 and still in the Colin Baker format, and we have disc 2, and there's just some the other ones, such as the Nightmare Fair all the way to the Macross. They're the wrong way round, they are. The Macross was the last one in season 23, so that was a Big Finish mistake. So we have the booklet, and there the cast. There's some pictures as well with David Bally, fantastic actor to play as the Celestial Toymaker. And there we have nice concept art. I always love concept art, I do, and this is brilliant concept art right here. They also did the same on the 8th Doctor Adventures as well. I think they did it with the 4th as well, but brilliant, lovely. And there's the next installment, Mission to Magnus, which I have got, haven't listened to it, but is where the Ice Warriors confront such a sinister of Syl. And that's just the other cover, so you can swap which size you want, but personally I like that by there. So my overall thoughts on The Nightmare Fair. Unbelievably a fantastic audio, one of my favourite releases ever, and the Lost Stories range is definitely a range I want to probably check out the most, because as you know me, I love Lost Stories and Lost episodes being adapted. I just love it when they do things like that, and The Nightmare Fair is an unbelievably classic story which got killed off, and that really bugs me, that does, because always the good stories of Colin Baker or any other Doctor are always the ones that get just wiped off, such as Peter Davison, The Elite, or Sylvester McCoy, Thin Ice, for example. It just bugs me, it does. And Nightmare Fair is probably one of the, if it did exist, it would probably be the best Colin Baker story. It's unbelievable, and a lot of Colin Baker does get a lot of hate, he does. And if season 23 did exist, then it would put a much different side on to Colin Baker, and it would have just shown another side to Colin Baker, because he's actually very different in this story. He's not as aggressive in this story and throughout this season. So he would, if season 23 did exist, I think his era and his Doctor overall would have been a lot better. So now the Celestial Toymaker, he's unbelievable. He's fantastic. He's so threatening. I just love his personality. He does. He's unbelievably a very interesting villain. And sadly, his original story, not with this actor, is the original Celestial Toymaker story is lost in time as well. And of course we can't see this return because it got cancelled or killed off. But if we want to see Celestial Toymaker, let's just hope they find Celestial Toymaker. I really cannot say anything about the story because it would spoil it. I would just say that Colin Baker and the Celestial Toymaker do communicate with themselves fantastically, and Colin Baker has to play a game, and if he loses, it will decide the fate for the entire world where he goes against the Celestial Toymaker, and I cannot say what happens, but it's unbelievable. So if you want to get into the Lost Stories or Big Finish, Nightmare Fair is definitely one you have to get. It's just one of the best releases ever, and it's just unbelievable story, and you need to have it. If you're not even this will definitely get you into audios, definitely. So if I would overall rate this fantastic Nightmare Fair, I would be, it's 10 out of 10. It's a perfection. One of my favourite audios out of my collection. Brilliant Nightmare Fair. Definitely recommended, and I would definitely revisit this audio. So thank you very much for watching the review on the Nightmare Fair. So take care.